Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for my March favorites. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. Let's go ahead and start with the foundation that I've been loving this month. It is the Chanel Sublimage L'Essence du Temps. I have mine in B40. It's the best shade match. If you're not sure what shade to pick, I do have a dedicated video to this where I swatch every single shade offered here. So go ahead and take a look at that. I also give you some reference points based on other Chanel foundations. I love this because it's so skin-like. It does show skin though through, so it's not a full coverage foundation by any means. It does have a very skin-like quality about it, and it just glows. This has been the one I've been wanting to pull for just because I'm always very happy with the way it looks. It looks healthy, it looks fresh. It has been a bit dehydrated lately, so it has helped to make my skin look smoother. Again, just more refreshed. There is a brush that goes with this though, and I wouldn't recommend using this brush with it. This is actually quite good for concealer cream products, but I wouldn't use it with this foundation. Clean hands are really great, as well as this Shiseido brush, which makes any foundation better anyway. And so I thought I'd try it with this, and it does work really well. So if you don't like this brush, I would try it with your cream concealers. So speaking of a cream concealer I've been testing out, it's the Chantecaille Real Skin for face and eye, and I have mine in 4C. I've been using this more as a primer for my lids. I've been using this one, the Chantecaille Le Camouflage Stylo, and it's more fluid. This one has a drier consistency, but it's not as heavy duty as, say, something like the Clé de Peau concealer. I've tried this as a primer on my eyes, but it is so heavy duty, it's thicker, and so it's a little bit difficult to just distribute evenly in a thin layer. This does a much better job. So if you're looking for some coverage, but the Clé de Peau is too much for you, you might want to look at this. It's really nice. This is a good shade match for me as well, 4C. And I have a couple of bronzer type products. They are not purely bronzers. They are more like a sun-kissed kind of look on the face. Bronzers to me have more pigment. It's much more visible. These are more sheer. So we have the La Mer, the bronzing powder. And if you like a terracotta shade, this one's really beautiful. I use this all over my face, kind of like a finishing powder. Really beautiful, warm glow, especially with my skin type. I just swirl them all together and brush them over the face. This is a great one, the La Mer brush. It's the powder brush, so just swirling that in there and dusting it all over. I think works really, really well. And then another bronzer type product that is quite new to me, but from the moment I tried it, I knew that I would love it. Just the texture is so silky, and I love the tone in here. So this is the Wayne Goss. It's called the Radiance Boosting Face Palette, and this is in the medium shade. So there's one lighter and one deeper. This is a satin bronze, and this is actually a contour shade here. And then this is a hybrid luminizer bronzer, so it's quite sheer. It doesn't go on like other bronzers that I have, so it's quite unique. And I love that just to kind of buff in this contour shade here and then just give a nice glow. Nothing shimmery, nothing detectable in terms of particles of shimmer. It's just so pretty. So for those who don't like glittery, shimmery things, I'm gonna say even this La Mer has more visible reflective quality than something like this. So if you're looking for something more subtle than the La Mer, this is very subtle in the most beautiful way. And I mentioned in that video, I especially love it up here. So I've been using it up here to make that just a little bit more tan because that's the natural shade of my forehead anyway. It's a little bit deeper than the rest of my face. Then for eyes, I love this Clé de Peau palette. It's a quad here and it is removable from this case. I did have a question. Can you not buy the case and just go with this? So here it is outside of the case. And you do buy them separately, and this is in 305. It's called, let's see, I think it's Satin Moon, but it's, yeah, the 305 color. And this is quite sturdy, the bottom piece of this, but it doesn't have a lid. So it comes like this in a kind of a flimsy clear plastic, which I suppose you could use for a lid. I think you might be okay if you're just leaving it on your vanity. But if you wanted to travel this, I don't know how well it would do in transport. So just something to think about. But if you buy one of these, you can just put the one that you're using in here and put the others away in storage. So I hope that answers the question about if you need this or not. The exterior case, it just depends on how mobile you are and if you're going to be moving it around a lot. I did put it on today. I only used 2 shades this time. I wanted a little bit more of a subtle look. I did film the get ready for me with this. Get ready for me? Get ready with me for this look. And then I took a nap. So this is a little bit more refreshed. I had to kind of fix it up a little bit, but essentially all the same products are on my face. And I think it's just the prettiest, most sophisticated palette. It does have just a little bit more shimmer than I like, but I think it works really well. It's beautiful. I think it's quite versatile in terms of how dramatic you want to get with this as well. Like I said, I just used those 2 shades today. Really, really pretty palette. I have these Westman Atelier, oh, I switched the lids around, the 3 that come in the set. I don't know which one this is called, but I have the one with Neige Chocolat. Okay, that's supposed to be a whiter shade. I just kind of mixed the colors up there on accident. And then we have Tabac. This is probably my favorite one. So if you like really, really, really subtle eyeshadow, then you'll love this. It's really hard to go overboard on this. You have to build it up quite a bit for it to be really, really visible. So if you want something more intense, if you want something more intense, I would go with this. But if you want something subtle, I would go with these. But you can take this down a little bit. This one's more versatile than these, I think, but these are very nice. Oh, I almost forgot. I do have so many bronzers this time. I have the face contour stick in Truffle by Westman Atelier. This one is beautiful on, in case you were considering which one to get. If you are my skin tone, you'll want to get this one versus Biscuit. It's very cool on me. I would go this one. It just looks so much better. Next up is the Chantecaille Contour Fill, and this is kind of like primer to me. I will use it if I have time and if I remember. So this is one of those things that I really like the finish of a lipstick. When I use this, it just makes everything look better. But again, it's a time and remembering kind of thing. It really just improves the look of any lipstick. It looks so much smoother. And then lip liner, same thing. It's one of those things that usually I forget or I run out of time. And lip liners are actually quite difficult for me to find in terms of a natural shade that works. But this one by Chantecaille is in Natural. So one of the things with my lip color is that the exterior is much deeper than the rest of my lip color, and it's also cooler. So this has some warmth to it, so it will cancel that out. And I really think it's just so pretty with even just gloss on top of it. Really pretty shade if you were looking for a lip liner. I have 2 lipsticks here that are favorites this month, and I have the Rouge Coco Bloom in 110 Chance. Just a pretty shade. Really hydrating, easy to wear shade. I wear this in the Get Ready With Me March favorites. So you'll see this, but then I also wear this one. So this is the Chantecaille Lip Veil in Rock Rose. And I did not even have my eye on this, but it did arrive in PR this month. Yeah, it definitely looks more muted in here than on, but I think it's such a pretty shade. Plus I love the lip veil formula. It's a little bit more opaque than say the Lip Cheeks and not as glossy as the Lip Cheeks. Then we have a couple of blushes. This one's not new to me, but every time I do my makeup, I want to pull for this one. So I thought I'd mention it again, plus it's limited edition. It is the Chanel blush. It is just consistently something that I want to wear, and it looks beautiful every time. So you can see how beautiful it is on with that glow. It is one of the prettiest blushes I've tried. Again, limited edition. We learned that the Endless Pink really was limited edition, at least at this point, because I went to try to purchase it and then I realized it was no longer available. So I scrambled to talk to Margaret to see if I could get any more, and I know that many of you reached out to and were able to get one, at least through Margaret. So just know that limited edition items are limited edition. So if you wanted this, just make sure that you pick it up in case you were thinking about it. And then I have another blush, and this isn't it. The one that I'm talking about is over there, but it broke. So I will put a little picture of it here. It is the Chantecaille Philanthropy blush in Wild Horse. It's a beautiful shade. I will swatch it for you, but I need to replace it now. But I just thought it was so pretty going. This is pretty too. This is Sea Turtle. It's a little bit more apricot-y, a little bit more peachy toned, but that one's a cooler pink shade, a little bit more bright. But these are beautiful, and I will be collecting these along the way. So let me know which one I should get next. And then I have favorites that repeat over and over, and I don't know if you want to hear about them because I feel like I use them all the time, but then I do still get questions about them. Do I still love them? And they make appearances in my videos almost all of the time. So I thought I would just quickly go over those things. So the under eye concealer, I still love the Sisley, the eye concealer in number 4, and then I go in with the La Prairie. Yeah, I can't even read any of the labels on here anymore. I do use this daily, but I put that in that deepest area right there. I love these because I don't have to powder them and they just sit by themselves and look beautiful all day long. I get asked about loose powders quite a bit, and this Clé de Peau one is one that I just think is just so beautiful, so finely milled, and makes foundation look even better when it's set. So sometimes when adding powder to foundation, it can kind of diminish the quality of the foundation, which is why I wish I didn't have to set, because when I apply foundation, it sometimes won't look as beautiful depending on the powder, but this still maintains the beauty of the foundation underneath. I think it does such a beautiful job. And this is just a refill because I wasn't sure about it when I first purchased it. But if I were to do it again, I would have purchased the whole system, not system, but it has like, you know, an actual case on it, and then the puff goes with it. So when this runs out, I will purchase a full size, not full size, but you know, the whole thing. Then for eyebrows, I go back and forth between this Dior, it's called the Brow Styler, and it's in 002. I love this one for more precise application, or I love the Chanel waterproof. It's more of that sword shape. I would put it up here, but I don't even know where it is. But it's more of a sword shape, fills in really quickly. So that one's great for when I have less time to get ready. It does look beautiful, you just comb through it. But this, again, more precision here with this. So I do go back and forth between those two. And then mascara, the Chantecaille. As much as I have loved other mascaras, like I think the Ilia is really beautiful, really separated lashes, I think this one does such a phenomenal job consistently in terms of building up that volume, which I like as well. And this is the Faux Seal, so it has those peptides in there as well. But that is it for my March favorites. Make sure to tune in for the Get Ready With Me using my March favorites. And let me know what you've been loving. I really appreciate when you leave in the comment section below what you've been loving, because I just copy paste those and put them into a running list of things that I pick up whenever there's kind of a lull, or if I'm considering something, I'll check that list to see if someone recommended it. But that is it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.